皆さんこんにちは、佐藤です。Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn this grammar. X は Y じゃないです。では始めましょう。Let's get this started. You already learned this grammar. X は Y です。X is Y. And X は Y ですか? Question, is X Y?Today we are going to learn how to negate the sentence. X is not Y. If the Y is an adjective, we conjugate it differently, so please remember that this Y is a noun here. Basically, there are three different negative forms. X は Y ではありません。X は Y じゃありません。X は Y じゃないです。I know you must feel like, oh no, why so many? I can just pick one and teach you, but I want you to know how we use them differently in Japan. So let's see the differences between them and find out which one is best for you to use. The first difference is how formal they are. じゃないです at the bottom is less formal than other two, ではありません and じゃありません. But it doesn't mean it's rude, it's still polite. ではありません is appropriate for formal writing. In spoken language, its usage is limited. It's used when giving a speech or presentation in front of people. Telling your opinion,But it's one-sided, not conversation. YouTubers use this form sometimes because they kind of give a presentation in their videos. It's also used in customer service. Some staffs use very formal language when they talk to customers. じゃありません and じゃないです are used in spoken language. じゃありません is more formal and conservative than じゃないです。Most of Japanese textbooks teach this じゃありません form. But Japanese people actually use じゃないです more often. According to a lot of surveys and researches, more than 70% of negative form used in conversation is じゃないです。This is why I'm going to teach you じゃないです form. It sounds more natural than other two. People tend to use じゃないです because it's easier to pronounce, and we can easily make a casual sentence by dropping です。じゃないです is polite, but じゃない is casual. That's the end of the explanation about 3 ways to negate. I'm sorry if it was confusing. Usually Japanese teachers just pick one and teach it without any detailed explanation, but I wanted to talk about this because this is one of the most common questions learners ask. Okay, now let's move on to the next step. How to use this negative form. It's simple. Just add じゃない before this. So, X は Y じゃないです。じゃないです。さとみさん is not a teacher. Not a teacher. Teacher is 先生 in Japanese. So let's make a sentence. さとみさん is not a teacher. With this grammar, X は Y じゃないです。さとみさんは先生じゃないです。さとみさんは先生じゃないです。さとみさん her name, 先生 teacher.And じゃないです not a teacher. 大輔さん is not a student. How do you say student in Japanese? 学生 student. So he is not a student. 大輔さんは学生じゃないです。大輔さんは学生じゃないです。It's really easy to make this negative sentence. Just じゃないです。Please remember this sound. じゃないです。じゃないです。 question is, たけるさんは先生ですか? He's a student, so the answer is no. So first, you need to say no in Japanese. いいえ no. And then, you don't need to say たけるさんは because it's clear that we are talking about him, so you can just drop the subject. And then, not a teacher. Not a teacher. 先生じゃないです。先生じゃないです。いいえ、先生じゃないです。No, he's not a teacher. And then give correct information. 学生です。学生です。いいえ、先生じゃないです。No, not a teacher. He's a student. 学生です。Next one. The question is, 大輔さんは学生ですか? 学生 student 学生ですか? But he's an office worker, so the answer is no. No. いいえ not a student. 学生じゃないです。学生じゃないです。And then correct information. How do you say office worker in Japanese? か something. 会社員会社員 So, 会社員です。会社員です。He's an office worker. Not student, office worker. I guess じゃないです itself is quite easy to use. Remember the sound じゃないです。じゃないです。Most of the time Japanese people use this じゃないです form, but depending on the situations, they use other two ways to negate. ではありません and じゃありません So please understand the meanings of them, not negative form ではありませんじゃありません Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. ありがとうございました。